Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Diana here at Build A Quilt. So glad that you all are with me tonight. Please go ahead and sign in the comment section. Let us know who you are, where you're from. Sorry, I have to kind of recenter myself. I've been working on something new that I'll share with you guys in a little bit. Something that hopefully will help you all find the products that I mentioned, like the stabilizer and things like that. I'm working on a whole new thing for that. So I'll tell you more about that here in just a little bit, but it certainly is good to have you all with us tonight. Welcome, welcome. It is a warm week here in Illinois. So last week we were having really super cold weather. Now we're up to like 50 degrees. So I'm guessing the colds and things are coming, right, everybody? So how are you all? Have you all been having a good week? Have you all been working on the quilt along? Tonight we've got a whole nother set of cards to choose our new colors for the new week. I think I grabbed 3 or 4 of them for us to look at. So we'll do that towards the end of the evening. And of course, as always, we have our question of the week this week, and our winners will win a little prize. And I'll tell you about that in a little bit. And gosh, it feels like I've got a lot of new stuff to tell you tonight. I guess we do, but tonight we're going to be doing the quilt along, and we're going to be talking about how to use our blocks in more than one way. Kind of a multi-use idea. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking about that too. Let's see who's with us. Hi, Sue. So glad you're with us. Sue, our good friend Sue, she always signs right in and lets us know she's here. And I appreciate that so much. That way I can give her a wave, say hello to her. And you all can do that too. Just say, hi, this is so-and-so. I'm from wherever. If you want to tell us, if you don't want to tell us where you're watching from, that's okay too. But I always think it's fun to find out where people are checking in from. Did you notice I have new glasses finally? Excuse me, my glasses broke a couple weeks ago and I've been wearing an old pair, and I've been doing this because they weren't quite the right prescription, but now my new ones came. Hello, Shamika. So glad to have you from Arkansas. How's the weather down there? Are you guys getting a lot of rain? I know some weather from the south is supposed to be moving up and bringing us like torrential rain tomorrow. So West Virginia, Christian Quilter. Hello, Christian Quilter. Nice to have you in the house. From West Virginia. Now, I've never lived in West Virginia, but I have been there. I did live in Virginia for a while as a young child when my father was in the military. Beautiful area of the country. Virginia, West Virginia, all through there. I was almost born in Kentucky, actually. That's a story for another day. My mom and my grandmom were shopping, or as they used to say, doing their trading. Across the border in Paducah, and my mom went into labor, and I almost was born there. But she got back to Metropolis, Illinois soon enough. Not yet, but you're expecting it, Shamika. Yeah, it's coming for all of us. I think this rain. I had heard we were going to have a wet winter, but not necessarily a snowy winter here where we are. And I think that's turning out to be true. We've had very little snow, but we're getting a lot of rain. I have a feeling our yard's going to be a big pile of muck out there and muddy and swampy probably after this rain we get tomorrow. Anyway, state slogan is wild and beautiful. Oh, what a beautiful slogan. I like that for a state. Wild and beautiful. It is. It's a really beautiful state too. I've known a lot of people from West Virginia because my husband was in the United States Navy for a while. He was a flyer for them for a while. And we had a lot of friends that actually were from West Virginia, but that's a beautiful saying. I should ask you guys sometime to look up your state saying and let us know what it is. Like for Illinois, I don't know what our state saying is. I don't know what it was out in when we lived in Seattle either. Although I know out there, Seattle is called the Emerald City, and they kind of call it Oz because it's so green and lush and pretty out there. But we'll have to look up those state sayings and see if we can figure out what those are, because they're kind of fun to see what your state's tourism board came up with for promoting your state, for sure. All righty, everybody. Again, it's so great to have you with us. I have a meme for us tonight. It's not really a cartoon this time. It's a picture, and it might make you hungry. Are you ready to take a look at it? Here we go. Oh, well, there it is. It says, you know you're a quilter when you ask your children, spouse, whomever, if they want their sandwich cut into half square triangles or quarter square triangles. Isn't that the case? Because when you cut it on the diagonal, that's your half square triangle. And then if you cut it from the other diagonal, you would have four little. I'm going to have to start cutting all of our grilled cheese when I make it that way. I loved this one when I saw it. I got a really good chuckle out of it. Do you guys want to answer? Do you do half square triangles or quarter square triangles? Where's the tomato soup along with the sandwich? Oh, I agree with you. In fact, I just made grilled cheese for my husband and I over the weekend, and I made some soup to go with it, but I make an herby cream of chicken soup, and I made that because can you believe it? He does not like tomato soup. I love it. So I've got the ingredients to make like a small pot of it so I can have it like for a few lunches over the next week. I'm going to make some for myself because I absolutely love tomato soup. So yeah, that picture needs to have a big old mug of tomato soup right next to it for sure. But yeah, I got a really good kick out of that one because how many times do you cut a sandwich? And now I will tell you this, my mother used to cut them straight down the middle. So you'd have like a left side and a right side. She wasn't I have always cut on the diagonal and made those half square. See, I've been a quilter though since I was 7, or 6 or 7. So that's the way my mind thinks. But my mom was always a straight down the center kind of person. But I thought that one was cute. I thought you guys would enjoy that one for this evening. And yeah, it's a good thing we just had dinner before I came on with you guys tonight. Otherwise, I would be wanting to go out and I still might want to go out and make a grilled cheese sandwich when we are done, because I love grilled cheese. Now, I know this is off topic, the whole grilled cheese thing. What kind of cheese do you guys like to use in your grilled cheese sandwiches? I used to be an American cheese only person, right? I love it. But I think now I like to do 3 cheeses. I like to do mozzarella and Gouda and sharp cheddar. I got fancy in my old age, right? But oh, it's so good. But if you have a favorite cheese, let me know, because sometimes I like to play around and try it. Good evening. Well, good afternoon, Ruth. Yes, it's still afternoon where you are for sure. Christian Coulter says she likes it to be sliced cheddar. Yeah, it's really good, isn't it? And I was never a huge sharp cheddar fan, but I am now, and I love it for my grilled cheese sandwiches. Hi, Ruth. So good to see you tonight, dear. Thank you so much for joining us. I know it's afternoon where you are, but for me, it's dark outside, so it could be 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I would say it's night. When we lived in Seattle, like January through February, it would be pitch black by 3 in the afternoon. And so that was nighttime for me. If it was dark, it was nighttime out. That's the way my brain thought. All righty. So, I'm going to show it one more time because Ruth joined us and she might not have seen it. Ruth, this was our meme tonight. You know, you're a quilter when you ask your children or family or whomever if they want their sandwich cut into half square triangles or quarter square triangles. I thought that was kind of funny. So there you go. I wanted to share that again. Now, tonight, you know, I'm always telling you folks to send me your pictures, right? And I will share them with people because I think that is one of the most inspirational things we do here is let you all inform us about the things you like and the things you do. Because I mean, yeah, I've been a quilter for decades and decades, but I don't always think of everything. But when you guys inspire, then I can share that with others and you can share with others here tonight too. So I have, I think, 3 thank you for sharings, or what I would like to call tonight the inspiration corner. Okay, so let me bring those up. Let me bring the first one up for you. This one is from, I think, Ruth, this one is from you, dear. How to remove bird nests, easy peasy. Thank you for sharing. Ruth, this is yours, isn't it? Please make sure and let me know. I'm pretty sure this one is yours. But do you see in the photograph, so you guys know when you're working, if you get a bird's nest under your needle, it's a nightmare to get. Oh, excuse me, just one second. We have RC Stitches with us tonight, and her name is Ruth too. Hello, Ruth. So glad to have you with us for the first time. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Build a Quilt. We're thrilled to have you at Wednesday night workshop. And Ruth, our other Ruth. All right, so ladies, when you're on at the same time, can I say Ruth and RC? Would that be okay? Or if you both want to be called by your name, Ruth, I will just have to say RC Stitches Ruth or Ruth Amdahl. You guys tell me how you want me to do that. I don't want to. Perfect, RC. Okay, thank you, RC. Thank you so much. So you all know that sometimes when, say, your bobbin case sucks that stabilizer in a little bit, or your thread is coming out of your bobbin kind of wonky. It always happens towards the end of a bobbin, right? That's when it decides to go weird on us. And it creates that just massive knot of thread and stuff underneath there. And we call those bird nests. Well, can you see right here? Ruth has taken a bread knife and she slides it under there, and then she saws it back and forth. You can see it even better here to cut through that so she can get the hoop off. And then you can go in and clean out the bobbin case and all that. And like I said, I showed this actually on Friday during Friday Quilt and Coffee Chat. But I wanted to show it again tonight for those who weren't with us, because this is a really cool idea, because this allows you to get in there without really having to mess things up. You have to get your needle up. You might have to try to take your needle off first, but getting in there and just kind of slicing that with the bread knife, because the bread knife is nice and long, works really well. And what I'll call a pro tip for you guys is whenever you do that, change your needle out at the very same time. Your needle may look perfectly straight, but very likely there's a little hook at the bottom of it at the tip, and that will start causing you more and more problems as you go, and you could end up breaking a needle or causing even more of a problem. So if I ever get a bird's nest, which we really don't do with Build a Quilt, right? There really isn't, because Build a Quilt is really making our embroidery machine do something our sewing machine would do, that lovely straight running stitch. But I do a lot of machine embroidery too. I mean, we all have machine embroidery machines, probably because we originally wanted to do embroidery. So I always switch out. If I get a bird's nest, I always end up changing my needle out. Even if it looks perfect, I will change it out because almost always something in that process has done something to your needle. And it might be so small that you can't see it with the naked eye, as they say, but it's there most likely. And I've seen enough of them under microscopes from some professional like needle people that create needles. I've gone to some companies and seen them make them. And there's always a hook at the bottom. It's tiny and you wouldn't think it would cause any problems, but it will. So that is from our good friend Ruth. And so make sure you have a bread knife. And I always said this, get a different bread knife for your sewing area. Don't use the same one you use on your bread. Because I mean, I wash them, but still. I just kind of think I should have their own. Another tip in the picture is the red tape on the hoop. Ruth, tell us what that red tape on the hoop is, because yes, you can see right there, there's red tape on her hoop. Is that to keep your hoop from popping? Is that what that's about? Or you let us know what that's about over in the comments. Would you please, Ruth? I know everyone would be interested in knowing that. So thank you for sharing that one. And our next thank you from sharing comes from our dear friend, Shamika. Now, last week we talked about what other crafts do you guys like to do, right? That was the question of the week. What other crafts do you like to do? And Shamika said she liked to make bling tumblers. And so I asked her to send me some pictures. Now, I could have shown them all to you, but I chose really what is my favorite because I loved this story when I was a little girl, The Princess and the Frog. So you know that Disney finally created this into a movie called The Princess and the Frog with Princess Tiana. And she uses these crystals. So I call them crystal bling tumblers. I hope that's okay, Shamika. And I loved this one. Look at all of that is crystal, everybody. Look at what a beautiful job she did on those. And each one is placed, as she tells me, individually. So bravo, my friend. Oh my goodness. I don't think I have the patience for that, but it's truly beautiful. The other ones she sent me were beautiful as well, but this one was really kind of my favorite. I just thought, and I love the color too. I love that green color and the kind of the yellowy gold. I tried to match it in the background a little bit so it would look good. But I absolutely love that. And I'm wondering, Shamika, do you ever teach classes on that? Because if you don't, you should. If you did an online class, I'd certainly take one. I'd be horrible at it, but I sure would love it. It's really, really beautiful. And I know that I'm guessing you need to wash them by hand. I don't know, but I don't think I would put that in my washing or my dishwasher. But it is so lovely. And I know a lot of little girls and big girls who would love like any of the Disney princesses, but I really loved this one. I thought she was just gorgeous. I mean, it's so, everything in there is so precise and so clear. Like sometimes you do things like this and they're kind of, they don't look quite right. That's like a perfect image of Princess Tiana. I loved it. So thank you so much, Shamika, for sharing. Let me check our messages over here. Ruth says, it's medical tape that sticks to itself. I put it on my hoop when I'm hooping only. Stabilizer helps make it nice and tight. Oh, I understand what you're saying. It's that stretchy bandage that attaches to itself that they use nowadays instead of regular Band-Aids. They use it on me when I get my iron infusions and stuff so that it doesn't stick as bad to the skin, and and I have an allergy to latex, so those work really well. Thank you for sharing that with us, Ruth. And Christian Quilter says Shamika is very talented. Oh, yes, she is. She's very talented. Those are really, all the pictures she sent me were really beautiful, but I definitely wanted to share this one with you all tonight. And then we have our final thanks for sharing, or inspiration corner, which I think I should start calling it, right? Let me bring that one up for us. This one is from our good friend. I thought I had it on here. I think this is from Linda. I could be completely wrong. I thought I wrote it on here who it was from. Oh, it's from Quiltanon. I'm sorry. It's from the guest who was with us last week, Quiltanon. she sent me this one. I love the idea of recycling and reusing, right? Because I love older cabinetry and furniture and pieces. I'm kind of a little bit of an antique person. My parents' neighbors were an older couple who were big antique dealers and had a little shop and stuff when I was growing up. So they would always drag me along with them as their grandchild practically. And so I just really fell in love with older furnitures and cabinetry. I really love older cabinetry. And so what they've done here is they've found this cabinet. Her husband, she said, had a piece of wood left over from a project that he did, and they wrapped, as you can see in this picture here, she wrapped ironing board fabric around it and tacked it in, and now she has this big lovely ironing surface, and she can move it around. I think it's a great way to recycle things. It was already the right height, and I suspect they had to spend very little money on this because of just finding this and then having the wood already. And here you can see she's even got, these are little penguins, I believe, if I remember the picture. And she's got those all laid out on there. I just thought it was a great way to do that. So whenever you're out thrifting or you're going to garage sales or anything like that, and you see something like this, and she's even got storage in here, which is fantastic. Think about these kinds of ideas. If you're looking to make that perfect cutting or ironing table, something like that could work for everybody really well. So thank you so much to Quilt Anon for sharing that with us. For sure. I absolutely loved seeing those ideas. You guys are so inventive and creative. I'm always telling you guys that, and I so believe it. You guys are so creative. So thank you all so much for those. All righty. So tonight we are going to talk about multi-use blocks, or using our blocks in multiple ways. Oh, one other thing I want to share with you guys before we go too much further. You know, I'm always, if I find something, I'm always telling you guys about it in case it will help you out, right? So all of my fabric bins are from IKEA, and all the ones I have are non-see-through because they're cloth. When I bought mine, I bought them cloth. So I found this new product called Tote Scan. Okay. I got it because we have reorganized our storage area, and we're going to do this to all of our buckets so we know what's in them. What you get are these peel and stick stickers. You download the app to your phone or your computer, and you scan it, and then it brings up this little organizational piece where you can type in what's in that box. You can add as many pictures as you want, and then you can save it. And so then when you're going back and you want to find out what's in those, you just scan the QR code on your tub, and the app will bring up the whole listing of what's in there. And so we got that for storage. And then I got to thinking, aha, my fabric buckets, I can do this too. So I will show you guys what mine ends up looking like. So I got a packet of them. They come in a couple of sizes. I got this size because it's easier for my poor eyes to see, but they come in a smaller version too. You get them in colors, things like that. But I'm going to do these on my bucket so I know exactly what's in there. Exactly. So I had the clip-on things that I've showed you before, and those are nice. But this allows me to actually keep an inventory of what's in there. And it wasn't too bad. I think the whole set, you get 48 of them. I think it was like $9 maybe. It wasn't too bad. And I'm going to try it. I'll do a little video and kind of show you how it worked out. And I'll show you the app and what it looks like and all. And then I'll give you my final thoughts on whether I think it's a good idea. So far, I think it's going to work out really great for keeping my fabric, not just what's in there, but inventoried. Like if I know a bucket is only Tula Pink, okay, but I have so many Tula Pink collections, I might have 2 specific collections in one bucket. So I could put that in there. Or say another bucket is only like half-yard remnants, then I could title that bucket that and then list what's in there. I just think it's a fantastic idea. Tote Scan. Now, this is the set I bought, and I'll be honest, someone recommended this brand to me. I don't have any, attachment to the brand, but this is the brand. There were other brands out on the website, but this is the one I got. She said it seems to be the easiest one to use. So I will get back with you on that. So stay tuned for that. All righty. So tonight we are going to talk about, love hearing about this idea. Oh, thanks, RC. I'm glad you like that idea. I will be glad to do that as a video too. And if it works out the way I think it will like be the product that I've been looking for a long time. Instead of having to open all my buckets and digging through, I'll know what's in there. And when you have a stash, I must admit, horribly as big as mine, I need a little bit extra organizational help that way. And probably a lot of us do. And if you're just starting your quilting journey, and I know some of you out there with us tonight are, Hi, everybody. Um, can somebody tell me if you're still there? I do apologize. For some reason, our whole internet just completely crashed. I've been under the desk here trying to get it to come back, and it finally did. I don't know what happened. I do apologize. Well, I'll give you all a little bit of time to see that we're back on. Hopefully we will stay back on. This did this last week during the day, one day too. Everything in our neighborhood just went down. You're still there. Thank you, Shamika. Thank you, my dear. Hello, Joanne from South Carolina. So nice to have you with us tonight. Okay, well, let's keep going. I don't know what happened there. For some reason, the whole internet just died. And then it came back. It's frustrating. That's all I can say. All righty. So what I was saying was this month, our block of the month for the final block for the 2024 Quilt Lab is the Crystal Star block, right? Isn't it pretty? I just love it. And the idea of the crystal comes where we've created not half square triangles. We were talking about that earlier. We created the flying geese units, and we created them with the wings of the geese in two colors. And the colors don't like match up with each other. Like there's never a purple and a white, or a purple and a purple, or a white and a white together. They're all different to kind of give it that idea of a reflective quality, a crystal quality, right? So that is our Crystal Star. It comes in 3 sizes. I'll share with you where you can get it towards the end of the evening. But I wanted to use this as an example. Let's see. Yes, Shamika, it was the internet. RC, I'm not getting any audio and screen is black. RC, go out and come back in. That might be what's going on. It seems like other people are seeing me now. I seem to be live. My picture I can see in my screen is up on my other screen. Okay, good. You see things now. Good. Good. I'm sorry if that caused you any problems. But the Crystal Star is a good example of what I want us to talk about tonight before we talk about the next block of the quilt along. And that is that truly with this particular block, we only use 2 Build A Quilt segment pieces. We use squares and these modified flying geese units. Okay, those are the 2 pieces, the 2 digital files that you get, and you get different sizes so that you can make the 3 different sized blocks. This is the 10 by 10 block. And I showed you the 10 by 10 one. It always fits in the screen for you guys to see it. And also 2024 was the year of the 10 by 10 block. And I think that'll probably continue in some ways. Now we're going to be doing mini quilts this year, but we're going to be doing more blocks too. So in fact, I've got a couple that I'm almost ready to launch out there into the stratosphere for you guys. But this is a good example of the idea that even though the pieces you get make this beautiful block, you can use these pieces to make other types of blocks. So we have, I'll show you. Now I chose the pieces for the sample here that make this 10 by 10 block. So here is one of the modified flying geese units, right? Different fabrics, right? But look what happens when I just put 2 of them together. I get this 5 by 5 block. Well, look what we're doing in our Easiest Quilt Along Ever project. We're doing just squares, but you could do that and make 4 of them and make a completely different looking block, but you already would have the piece in which to do it. And so this is my big tip for you when you buy the block patterns, or if you have the block patterns from the last couple of years, is make yourself a sample of each segment and keep those put aside, because someday you may say, you know, this was a fun, super, it was the easiest quilt I've ever done kind of a scenario. But you might say, well, those are 5x5 squares. If I put 2 of these together, they would be 5x5 squares. What if I did 4 of them in this? I'd have a completely different looking block. Okay. And because you get these in 3 sizes, you could make these, instead of a 5x5 block, let's see, I think the 8 would be, I think they would be 4 inches for the 8-inch. So you'd have a 4-inch square. And for the 12-inch, you would probably have a 6-inch square. So you would have 3 different sizes. Those 4-inch blocks would be perfect cornerstones when you're putting a quilt together. Or maybe you want to put a smaller piece in the center of 4 larger blocks and little sashing strips down the center. You can do that with things like this, right? And if you wanted just the different size squares for those cornerstones, you could use this piece. Okay, so this is not the only block where we can do that. And remember, in 2024, if you've been with us for a while, when we did the Riley Blake Block Challenge, and we made all 16 of those blocks, I translated them all into the Build a Quilt system. And that whole pattern set is still free and still available out on the website. I'll give you that information before we leave tonight. I showed you how I took some of those pieces and mixed them with one of our blocks of the month. And we came up with like 4 different blocks that you can create by mixing and matching your pieces. And that's what I'm talking about. That's the great advantage of Build a Quilt. You have these segments and you can mix and match them. I'm working on our first mini course. The mini courses will be free, but they'll only be available for a 60-day time frame. You have to watch them, do them, and download all your pieces in 60 days. Then those mini courses will go away and they might come back the next year or whenever. But I'm working on one that is all about translating a pre-purchased quilt pattern into the Build a Quilt digital quilting scenario, so that you can see, if you go and buy a pattern, you probably have all the pieces you need to make it in your Build a Quilt system, especially like with this Easiest Quilt Along that we're doing with the Build a Quilt combo set, where you get these 6 basic pieces. You can use those to create hundreds upon hundreds of different quilts, everybody. So if you were a Quilt Lab subscriber, or if you've already purchased the Crystal Star pattern, you could pick a size and create these, and create yourself a 4-patch block made just with these modified Flying Geese units. I am going to challenge you this week to do that. And then when you do it, I want you to send me a picture. And it's hopefully going to inspire you to say, hey, I'm not stuck with just doing what I see here. I can be imaginative and do whatever I want. And maybe you just play and you try things out. And when you look at it at the end, you go, maybe I would have done that differently. That's okay. It's still a beautiful quilted block. It will still go beautifully in any quilt that you want to put it in. Okay, because the idea of quilting is the idea of creation. It's an art form, and you're the artist. And artists don't always get things exactly the way they want the first time around. They play, they mix and match paints, they mix and match colors, they use paint and pencils, pastels and crayon. I mean, all kinds of stuff. That's what you can do as a quilter. And with Build a Quilt, it's really easy to do it because you've got all of these precise digital segments in order to do it. So Crystal Star Center, its own individual block. And I'm going to go ahead and try and do a 4-patch of this as well to show you. Probably not next week, because next week we have our first mini quilt coming for 2025. But I will do one and show you in the finish. Now, are there any questions about what I'm talking about? If there are, please let me know, because I would certainly like to answer any questions that you might have. Okay. But this is the one thing I love doing. I love sometimes taking my pieces. I've got a basket of all of my segments, and I'll just sit them out and play with them. And that is sometimes how I come up with the new blocks that we do for Build a Quilt, because I just sit and play with them and come up with something that I've never seen before. And that's how you can do it. So this is the crystal star. This is the mini part of the crystal star. Okay, so that is what I wanted to share with you tonight. So give that a try. If you've got any questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer them now or later, whatever you prefer. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our quilt along, because it is what? The easiest quilt ever that you're ever going to make. It's the easiest quilt ever. And the reason we're doing this quilt right now is because I like to always start the year with something simple in case we have new people joining us. It's a great stash buster. This was kind of designed around the idea of shopping your stash and not having to buy new fabrics. So it is the 4-patch, the simple 4-patch. Now this 4-patch is 4 5-inch squares equals 1 10-inch block. And in the combo set, so you have to have our combo set. Right now, this combo set is $10 off over at the website through the end of the month, through January 31st. But you're going to use the square. You're going to make 4 of them in the 5-inch per block. So this was our block last week. I chose those colors last week for us so that we could get started. But then, in fact, let me grab my block from last week. So this was our color card that we used for last week's blocks. Didn't they turn out great? I love those. And then you guys chose this one for this week's block. It was card 418. So this is the fabrics I chose. Let me bring this down and show it to you up close. All right, so here we go. So here was this week's card. So you really had 2 blocks to make this week. You needed to make that one and this one, but they're so easy. I mean, you could make both of these in like 20 minutes and be done and out the door. So this was the color card you chose. These colors were lilac gray, mint gray, blue gray, steel gray, and charcoal. And remember, I said with the black color here, maybe not that as a whole block, but maybe fabrics that had it outlined or some black in it would look great. But I think if you used one with just the solid black, it would be too distracting to the eye for this particular quilt. So here is the block I came up with. Now, as you'll notice, I did not use the darkest blue, which that one is the steel blue, nor the black. I didn't use either one of those. I just use these 3 colors, and that's the fun part. With the colors, you can use whatever colors choices you want. So this one is my blue gray, just a solid. This is a, trying to remember, this is a silky solid from Kimberbell. And this is my lilac gray. And this was my mint gray. And I chose, again, just like I did last week when I chose this one that had all the colors in it, I chose this one, and I don't honestly know where this fabric came from. I've had it forever. But look at the fabric closely. Look, it's got the mint, it's got the lilac, and it has the steel blue in it. So I know that fabric is going to go with all of these fabrics because all of those colors are in that card. See how simple it is to match that up? And all I did is I keep anything that's less than fat quarter in one little bin. And I just went in there and started peeling things out that I knew I had a big enough piece for. And sure enough, I had all of my colors. So that was mine from this week. Now, I did not get any pictures from anybody. So I'm still waiting to get pictures of your blocks, folks. The ones that you're making, I'd love to see them. So that is block number 2. Now, I also want to talk to you about white blocks or blocks that you're going to do in some neutral color, right? I chose white just because it kind of tends to go with everything for a background. 2 of them, up and down, are going to end up being the sashing, okay? So what I need you to do this week, along with making your 3rd block, I need you to start making maybe 2 or 3 sets of 2 of the squares, top and bottom together like that. Now you can use any color you want. I think white would work great for everything, but if you don't like to use white as a background color, please use what you like. A light gray would be beautiful, probably, given the colors that we're tending towards. A light gray would be really pretty. But make a few sets of these. Each week, I want you to make a few sets of these until I tell you to stop, okay? Because this is going to end up being sashing for the overall pattern. Not going to show you what that's going to look like yet, but that's what we're going to use for our sashing, okay? All right. And that's what's going to help us fill out the size, is having those wider 5-inch pieces for sashing as well. So it's going to end up looking great in the end. All right. So now we need to pick and vote on our new colors. So remember, I'm going to show you each color card, and then I'll show it again. And then you will type in the comments the card number that you like the best. And whichever one gets the most votes, that will be our color selection for next week. A picture of this block with its card in the center and the new block down on the side will be posted in the community forum here later this evening when we're done, okay? Alrighty, so first card I chose, and we're using the cards from the Sarah Renee Clark Color Cube, because remember, with these cards, you can shop your fabric or even to the store with confidence that all the fabric colors you're choosing are going to work beautifully together and coordinate in your quilt. So this is the first one. This is card 410. And I chose this because these are beautiful tulips, and I'm ready for the beautiful tulips already. When we lived out in Washington State, the Skagit Valley Quilt Festival was always right around my birthday in the middle of April. And it's one of my favorite places and times of year ever, because there are just fields and fields and fields and fields of color. It's so gorgeous. So this one, let's talk about the colors. This is Bondi Blue. Bondi Blue. The yellow, they're just calling gold. This color they're calling tangerine and flame. And this one here, they're calling dark green. And I'm really looking at it. It is a very dark gray green, okay? There's definitely some dark gray in this, but it's a gray green. That's the colors. I love those. Now, you know that the colors come from the photograph. So we have the sky, that's the blue. And then, of course, we have the colors for the flowers. And then this green gray, I think, are supposed to represent the foliage that's in those. But I thought that one was pretty. So that's 410. All right, our next one is card number 373. 373. And this is all about, in my opinion, this is all about the clouds and the sky. Isn't that a beautiful picture? I love it. So the darkest color on this one is just dark blue. That's what they're calling that. The next one up is steel blue. Is that the same steel blue as tonight? I mean, I'm guessing it is. Yeah, so that's steel blue again. If you didn't use steel blue in your block this week, you can use it in next week's. The next one is blue gray. Very cadet blue kind of. And then again, lilac gray, and then pure white. 310. I thought that was really pretty. If you're someone who likes blues or likes denims, you'll like this card because that's what this reminds me of, really, is kind of the denim-y colors, from a white denim all the way through to a light gray denim, all the way through to a dark wash denim. Really pretty. $3.73. Okay. Our next one is card 344. And remember, I picked these cards at random, so I'm just now really seeing them too. 344. So you see the picture in the top. It's these colors are coming from this furniture, a very IKEA looking room, I think, so I like it. Let's look at our colors here. This darkish one here is called clay. That's called clay. The next one is just simple beige. This one is gray. That's the only name for it, is gray. I would say it's a real taupey gray. There's a little bit of brown in that gray, if you ask me. This is a French rose. Beautiful red color. I really like that one, actually. And then this one at the end is a rose tan, or what you might call a pinky tan, a tan pink. Beautiful colors. That's a very different color combination that we probably wouldn't just gravitate to for a quilt, but that would make a lovely quilt, and it will certainly make a beautiful block. Any of the four that you choose would be gorgeous for that. That pink and the red, and actually I'm kind of, the more I'm looking at those, the more I'm liking that whole color scheme. 344. 344. All right, and then the last one to choose from tonight is 342. And look at this beautiful bird. Look at that bird. Isn't it gorgeous? I love it. I love birds. So our lightest color, we'll start over here. Our lightest color is just light blue, kind of a sky blue if you ask me. But the next one they're calling sky blue. So light blue and sky blue. And then this one is stone blue. It's a very deep gray blue for sure. Orange, plain old orange. And then one of my favorites, apple green. Apple green. I like those colors. Again, not colors. You guys know me. Those aren't the colors I tend to go to in my quilts. But when I want to mix it up, I want to be inspired. I don't want all my quilts to look the same. That would make a gorgeous color for a quilt. So 342. All right. So let me show you these again, and then you can vote. 410. 344. 373 and 342. Those are your colors. Looks like Sue's already voted. She already knows which one she likes. I love that, Sue. You're very decisive. 373 it is. So that's the one that Sue chose. The blues, those denim-y colors. Love those. And because I'm choosing these at random, you know, they're not necessarily all going to like be in one color family. We're going to have warms and cool colors, and those are our four. Let me see if you can get this so you can see the color number on each card. There you go. So Rose says 344. That's the one with this really pretty pink and beige and gray. I love that one, Rose. Really pretty colors. So those are your four. 410, 344, 342, and 373. We need at least one more or two more people to vote so that we can get a plurality of votes here. Otherwise, I will have to do an eeny meeny kind of a thing and choose between the two that got votes right now. But I love those. And to be honest, I would love doing a block in any of those colors. None of those are my typical go-to colors. So I would love doing them. Hey, Kathy Johnson, it's so good to see you, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Oh, do you like these colors? Oh, she's already chosen hers too. She's a 344 person. You know, okay, I'm going to say that would be a very cool, interesting Valentine kind of color scheme, would it not? You've got your pink and your red, but then you've got these really cool neutrals in there. I kind of love those. All right, so keep voting, everybody. Keep voting. We're going to go, because we're getting close to time, we're going to go to our question of the week and our gift of the week. But keep working, keep voting on which ones you like, okay? All righty. Let's see. Question of the week. Now, this has nothing to do with quilting because remember, questions of the week don't always. What is your favorite sandwich and do you cut it into a half square triangle? Kathy, our meme tonight was somebody had a grilled cheese sandwich and said, when you make sandwiches for your family, do you cut them into a half square triangle or a quarter square triangle? It was I thought it was kind of funny. But what is your favorite sandwich and do you cut it into a half square triangle? Ruth says, beautiful. Ruth, what are you talking about, dear? Please let me know. You've said beautiful. That's great, but I'm not sure what you're referring to. So I'm just asking for some clarification because, you know, it can be dense. Those are our colors that you're voting on for the color for next week for our block. Kathy, this was the block for this week that I came up with using the colors from that card. Reuben. Rose says, Reuben, and yes, you cut on the diagonal. So she's a half square triangle cutter. I am too, Rose. A Reuben sandwich. You know, I have to say, I've never been horribly in love with the Reuben because of the sauerkraut. But you give me a good pastrami on rye, which is kind of similar, but I take the sauerkraut off. I'm all about my pastrami or my corned beef. I love that. Yeah. That sounds like a yummy, yummy way to go. And I will say Reubens, like my mother and father were on a Reuben sandwich kick for years. Like my last couple of years of high school, they would go out once a week together to the little diner in our town and get Reuben sandwiches, just the two of them for dinner. It was very sweet. They're very cute that way. And so, yes, they loved those. Let's see. I'm going to keep looking here at comments. Kathy says, you're making a baby quilt in a similar colorway to 344, except instead of red, you're doing aqua. Oh my gosh, Kathy, that would be beautiful. Because you know, as soon as you said aqua, I'm there. Oh, that will be beautiful. Absolutely love that. Great idea, Kathy. Thank you for sharing. And Kathy says her favorite sandwich is roast turkey cut as an HST. I love it. We quilters, we come up with the best ideas, right? We cut our sandwiches into half square triangles. Oh, I love it. Okay. You guys can keep answering about your favorite sandwich, and you can keep voting on your favorite card. There's your numbers again. 373, 342, 344, and 410. This one is 410. All righty. So I will tell you, Dave and I had turkey sandwiches tonight. Wednesday night is kind of sandwich night for us because I'm like going around like a crazy goose trying to make sure everything is ready for us tonight. And Dave gets home a little later in the afternoon to the point where I don't have time to make a big dinner for us. Typically, I will say, I'll admit, full transparency, I typically order sandwiches, but tonight I made them. So I thought I would save us some money. And the sandwiches were great, but the deli buns I bought were the only ones available at the store. And they were basically rectangular hamburger buns. They just didn't work. But okay, Sue, thank you for coming, hon. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. If you want, you left your number. You can see on the community board which one we're going to choose. In fact, I am going to choose here our color. Because I think we have enough of those comments in there. Let's see, 373, 344, 344. Oh, we're tied. All right, you guys are going to have to. Oh, okay. So I'm mixing my cards up. My eyes are closed. I'm mixing the cards up. I don't know which one is which. There, that's our colors. What is it? Oh, it is. It's 344. Those are our colors. That's our color scheme for next week. 344. I hope you guys don't mind that I did it that way. I mean, my eyes were closed. I didn't know which one I was choosing. I've switched them so much. I couldn't keep track. I'm bad at that. So 344, that's our color. So tonight's picture that goes up on the community board there, and down there in the corner. Kathy says she really wants to get the color cords. Did you post a link somewhere? I was thinking, yes, I have an affiliate link, Kathy. Let me actually, hang on. I am going to post it here in the comments for you. You guys have to tell me. I don't see it on my end. Does that come up as an active link for you? I don't know if it does or not. But if it doesn't, just highlight it and copy paste it, and then it'll work for you just fine. Okay. Oh, actually, you don't need to worry about that. Go into the description of tonight's event, and down at the bottom where it says, thank you for supporting Build a Quilt, blah, blah, there will be a live link there, that live link there, okay? Oh, it does come up as a live link, good. It doesn't on my end because I'm the initiator, but I wanted to know, good. So that is the link. Yes, you can go and check those out over at Sarah's website, and that is my affiliate link. Thank you so much for that. All righty, so I'm going to try and, I'm trying to keep out all the cards that we've chosen so that we don't like reuse them, right? Alrighty, so this was week 1. That was week 2. That's next week, week 3. And don't forget to make yourself, start making yourself some 2-piece sashing pieces. That's the same pattern. You're just doing it in the same solid color, whatever solid color you use. A nice light gray. If you want another nice neutral, that could be good. This one right here could be good. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, good. I'm glad it worked, Kathy. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Let me share with you, for those that need to know, the website, www.mybuildaquilt.com. That's where you can find all the patterns. That's where you can find the crystal star pattern to make your little mini pieces, your little smaller blocks to use for sashing, cornerstones as a block in and of itself. If you only need 5-inch blocks somewhere in a quilt, perfect idea. You can do that with all of your pieces. mybuildaquilt.com. And let's see. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share if you haven't already. Thank you, especially to all of our new viewers tonight. We loved having you with us, and we'd love to have you as part of the Build a Quilt community. It's because of all of you guys that Build a Quilt is what it is, just starting its 3rd year, and I can't thank you enough for that. Alrighty. Oh, let's pick our question of the week winner. Let's not leave before I do that. That would be horrible. All right, so our winner was, we had... let's see, roast turkey sandwich and a Reuben. That was Rose and Kathy, and you guys are the only ones that answered tonight. So Rose and Kathy, I'm writing your names down. Okay, so ladies, you're both going to win a $5 gift coupon from me for playing the game tonight. Since there's just the 2 of you, both of your sandwiches are delicious. So you're both going to win that $5 coupon tonight. You know what to do. Send me an email that says Wednesday night workshop winner, or Wednesday winner, or workshop winner, or question of the week winner, whatever. Give me some information on the inside. Say, hi, I'm freezing here. I'm warm here. I'm making my blocks. I'm too shy to show them to you. Please don't show me your blocks. But anyway, whatever you want in the body, at support@sewuncommon.com, and I will send that to you. It will be tomorrow afternoon. I am gone tomorrow morning. I had an appointment in the afternoon. I'll be honest, I'm going to go get my hair done. And she asked me to move it up into the morning, and we chat and drink coffee and stuff. So I'm gone most of the morning tomorrow, but I will get your gift coupon to you tomorrow afternoon when I get home. support@sewuncommon.com. All righty, everybody. It's been so great to be with you. I'll be over in the comments for a little bit after I let you all go. But until next time, everybody, go quilt life beautiful. It was great to be with you all tonight. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.